should have left the second he said my last name. I never told him my last name. We matched on a Thursday. His profile was simple. A few photos, decent bio, nothing that screamed, run. We texted for about a week before he asked me to dinner. Normal restaurant, normal time, broad daylight. I thought I was being careful. He picked me up. That was my first mistake. His car was clean. Too clean. Like the kind of clean that comes from effort, not habit. No receipts, no water bottles, no jacket thrown in the back. I noticed it, but told myself I was being paranoid. Some people are just tidy. Dinner was fine at first. He asked good questions, listened when I talked. But somewhere around the second course, I realized he was a little too prepared. He knew I had a sister before I mentioned her. I thought I'd brought her up earlier. Maybe I had. He knew I worked late on Wednesdays. I figured I'd said something. Then he said my last name, casually, like it slipped out, tucked inside a sentence about something else. I stopped mid-chew. "How do you know that?" He smiled, said I must have told him. I knew I hadn't. I went to the bathroom and stood at the sink for a minute. I told myself to calm down. People Google each other, it's normal. I went back to the table, but something had shifted in me. I started paying attention differently. He never once checked his phone. Not once. Most people check their phone on a first date at least once, even just out of nerves. He didn't. He just watched me the whole time. When we left a restaurant, he took a different route back. I didn't say anything. I just watched the streets and mentally marked where we were. He made 3 turns I wouldn't have made. Longer route. I told myself he was avoiding traffic. Then he slowed down in front of my building, before I told him which one was mine. I said, "This isn't my building." He looked at me for a second too long. Then he said, "Oh, sorry, I must have gotten confused," and kept driving. He pulled up to the right building 2 minutes later. He walked me to the door. He was perfectly polite. I said goodnight, went inside, and locked every lock. I sat on my couch and opened our text thread. I scrolled all the way back to the beginning. I never once said my last name. Never mentioned my sister's name. Never said which building I lived in. He texted me at 11:47 that night. "Had a great time. We should do this again." I didn't answer. I reported his profile and blocked him everywhere. 2 weeks later, my neighbor knocked on my door, said someone had been buzzing her unit and asking if she knew me. She described him perfectly. I still don't know how long he'd been watching before we even matched. The first time she canceled, I thought nothing of it. "Work stuff," she said. The second time, she sounded off. Not upset, just flat, like she was reading from something. We'd been talking for 3 weeks at that point. Long distance, about 4 hours away. She was the one who pushed to meet. Picked the weekend, picked the town, somewhere in the middle. A small place, 1 main street, a few diners. I drove up Saturday morning. She was already there when I arrived, sitting at a corner table, and for a second I just stood at the door and looked at her because something felt immediately wrong. Not with her face, with her energy. She looked like someone who hadn't slept but was working very hard to pretend she had. I sat down. She smiled. We ordered coffee. She was fine, totally normal, funny even. But every time my phone buzzed, her eyes went to it before mine did. Every time someone walked in, she turned to look. I started watching her watch the door. About an hour in, I asked if she was okay. She said yes. I asked if she wanted to go somewhere else. She said, "No, this is fine. I like it here." That word, fine, said the way people say it when nothing is fine. We took a walk after. She held my arm and she talked a lot, too much, filling every gap. And then, mid-sentence, she stopped. There was a car parked across the street. Dark blue, engine off. Someone sitting in the driver's seat. She started walking again immediately. Faster. I looked back. The person in the car was looking at us. "Do you know them?" I asked. "No," she said. "Too fast." We went back to the diner. She excused herself to the bathroom. She was gone for 8 minutes. I counted. When she came back, she was calm in this new, deliberate way that didn't match the woman who'd just walked away. She said she had to head back earlier than planned. I said, okay. I walked her to her car, and right before she got in, I asked her directly, "Is someone following you?" She laughed, just a small sound. Then she said, "I'm fine. Today was really nice." She drove away. The blue car was gone. I drove home, and about 40 minutes into the trip, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "She doesn't want you calling her anymore. Don't contact her again."
I stared at it for a long time on the side of the road. I texted her directly and asked if she was safe. She never replied. I tried once more, 3 days later. The number was disconnected. I think about her sometimes. I hope she got out. I don't know what she was in, but I know she wasn't there on that date for me. She was there because it was the only way she could get out of the house for a few hours without it looking like she was running. I was just a reason to leave. He seemed nervous, which I actually liked. Nervous felt human. We'd met through a mutual friend. Set up, not an app. That made me trust it more. He came to my neighborhood, picked a bar I suggested, showed up early. All good signs. Third drink in, he relaxed, started telling stories. He was funny, easy to talk to. At one point, he went to the bar to order, and I watched him and thought, yeah, this could be something. Around midnight, he offered to walk me home. I said sure. We were almost at my door when he said he had to use the bathroom. I almost said there's a place down the block. I don't know why I didn't. I just unlocked my door and let him in. He used the bathroom. I filled a glass of water in the kitchen. And then I heard him in the hallway, not leaving the bathroom. Moving, going somewhere he wasn't supposed to go. I set the glass down and listened. Quiet. I walked to the hallway. He was coming out of my bedroom. "Wrong door," he said. "Looking for the exit." My exit is 12 feet from the front door. There is no way to confuse it for a bedroom. I laughed it off. I don't know why. I said it was late, and he left. I stood at the door after it closed and waited for his footsteps to go down the stairs. Then I went to my bedroom. I don't know what I was looking for. I don't know what I expected to find. It took me 4 days to notice. I have a small dish on my dresser, just a ceramic thing. Rings, a few hair ties, a spare key to my building. Not my apartment, just the building. The key was gone. I tore the room apart, checked every surface, every drawer. Checked my bag, my coat pockets. Gone. I called our mutual friend. She said he'd asked about me a few times after that night. Casual questions. Whether I lived alone, whether I worked from home. She thought he was just interested. I changed my locks that week. Both doors. Told my building to update the key system. He texted me once about a week later. "Hey, we should hang out again sometime. I had a lot of fun." I didn't respond. He sent a follow-up 3 days after that. "Did you find everything okay?" I don't know what that means. I've never figured out if I want to know. If you made it to the end of this, check in on yourself, and maybe check your deadbolt.